Greetings, friends, and welcome to another episode of The Mistake Zone, your weekly dose of our lives and the mistakes within them. My name is Jaren Wade. Joining me, as always, one of my best friends in the whole wide world, Chris Pratt. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Jaren. I don't.
See, Matt?
Oh, man.
That's bringing it back, telling people to listen to the latest episode of Smasher Pratt Round 2.
Oh, man.
Get everyone to go to wherever they find our podcast or our website, mistake.zone or SaturdayMorningArcade.com. You are one of my best friends in the whole wide world.
Man.
So how are you doing?
Yo, Jen, I'm doing good. I hit up the, what do you call it? Not Chinese buffet. I guess a Chinese restaurant. I don't know why. My default thought when I think of like a Chinese food place is a buffet instead of like just a normal restaurant. But
No,
Jen, I'm doing
I
good.
think
I'm doing
just growing up, that's also the association, just because there was a Chinese buffet called, I think, Chinese Buffet King by my grandparents growing up. And we would always go there when the occasion presented itself. So that's the memory I associate with going out. And there is another restaurant by the Saturday Morning Arcade Clubhouse that I also associate, but it's, you know what, Matt, it's that childhood nostalgia that always brings me back to what my associations are. But Matt, you brought up something that I've been playing in my head, and I wasn't sure if I was going to bring onto the show, but now that you opened the floodgates, where in a few weeks I'm going to find myself, on my own for a weekend or so, just because my partner will be going out for a bridal shower with her friends. And I was thinking, Matt, you know what they say. We've grown up with generations of podcasts, different podcasts, where you have the significant other leave, and that means the podcaster themselves is left to their own devices and usually orders a whole bunch of awful stuff to stuff into their bodies. And now that I find that myself in that situation, I was thinking, Matt, is it deranged to go to a all-you-can-eat buffet by yourself?
Oh, you know what? I want to say yes, but also I've also done that myself too. So,
Where I have found myself in, well, not found myself personally, but I've been to all-you-can-eat buffets, and then, I'll look at one of a single diner table, and they're just laid out. They have either a book with them or a tablet or just something playing while they're enjoying their meal. And I thought, man, that's a bliss. That's the life. But on the flip side, Matt, I don't have the self-confidence to think, I know no one will pay me any mind, but I'd pay myself some mind. So that's something I'm playing with right now, Matt.
Yeah, you should do it up,
I'm
you should do it
playing
up.
with right now.
I think, I think it plays the book and stuff for me. Plays a little bit weirder at like a Chinese style all-you-can-eat buffet where it's like, okay, you're going up and you're getting your food, whereas it feels a little bit different where if you go to like a all-you-can-eat like Japanese or Korean barbecue or a all-you-can-eat sushi, because there's actual waiting for your stuff, so you have that, I guess like quote unquote leisure. I'm not sure what word to use here to like,
time to reflect.
Pace.
Yes. Where, Matt? I think Endless Shrimp's also going on. Matt, what's more deranged? Going to Endless Shrimp by yourself or going to an all-you-can-eat by yourself?
Jared, how are you gonna read your book when your fingers are covered in shrimp sauce?
Fair enough. But don't get the pasta, Matt. That's always gonna that fills you up. You won't be able to min-max your shrimp intake at that point. Apparently, the breaded coconut shrimp also a trap, just because that's empty carbs as well.
Yeah, but it adds. At least it's not like just straight pasta.
That's true. Matt, haven't been on the mistake zone for a while, and by a while I mean just a week. Because I wanted to stay clear of the Pratt attack zone. But Matt, remember that one week I came onto the show and crashed out that nothing was going my way?
I mean, Jared, I don't think that was just 1 week, but yeah,
Matt, let's just say the last few weeks haven't been Jaren weeks either.
Oh no.
Where Matt, let's start it off. Let's start it off with the low stakes.
Okay.
We got to do our Fantasy Critic updates. We're heading into Summer Games Fest starting next week, so we're gonna have our Summer Game Fest content start next week. Steam Next Fest around the corner, so that means we're primed to add some stuff to our rosters. But Matt, you had a flex bid. You said it on the episode, or one of the episodes a few weeks ago, where, hey, I think I'm gonna bid on Persona 4 Revival. Bid, like, I believe you said $4. Good goof. And I thought, that game's not coming out. That game's not coming out. Matt's just memeing. I'm going to counterpick that. Easy 0 points. And lo and behold, this week, I'm browsing the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit, and apparently the South Korean ratings board apparently rated Persona 4 Revival. And Matt, you got me, man. You got me.
Oh, man.
I thought I got you, but it was you who had me.
Oh, man.
Matt, what are your expectations for Persona 4 Revival? Do you think it's going to be announced next week during Summer Games Fest?
I expect it to be, announced somewhere next week, but like I am less and less sure that it's actually going to be like this year. I for some reason feel it's going to be like Q1 2027.
Speaking about Persona leaks, did you see the apparent Persona 6 protagonist art that is floating around?
Jaren, I don't know. Did it ever get confirmed in any way or no?
Where everyone's expecting, so the rumors going around right now is that it's been delayed internally at Atlas until 2027. Probably an announcement to correspond with the 30th Persona anniversary. And people are kind of expecting it to be revealed officially sometime in the fall, and possibly alongside either a release or release date for Persona 4 Revival. If not, a trailer next week for what we were talking about previously as well. Matt, what are you feeling about? How do you feel about protagonists having bowl cuts?
I think I'm okay with the protagonist having bowl cut, or like some level of bowl cut. I think that's like perfectly fine. I think the thing that really throws me off about him is that he's blonde, and for some reason to me that doesn't play as the Persona protagonist.
Right. That's your best friend character. You always have your blonde or blonde adjacent best friend character. I feel that, Matt. I feel that. And Matt, I'll be honest. Speaking about our fantasy critic, last, I think Sunday, I thought, okay, I've been hearing a lot of rumblings about the Witcher 3 DLC. Apparently 10 years later, or how many years, I believe they're going to release it. So I put in a bid, Matt. I put in a bid.
Oh, okay.
And lo and behold, Tuesday, before the bids are revealed on the Thursday, I see CD Projekt Red announces new Witcher 3 DLC coming 2027. Matt, had to pull that back. And now I'm waiting for an opportunity to bid on something, because I believe I'm the only one without a expansion pack / DLC bid right now, where you have the unannounced Monster Hunter Wilds expansion. That's pretty much a lock. Julian has the Hollow Knight Silksong expansion. Rikush has the Total War Warhammer, and recently Mark bid on Dave the Diver in the Jungle, which damn, I was looking at Dave the Diver, but too slow, Matt, too slow. But Matt, speaking about too slow, I'm driving to work a few weeks ago, and me, I love technology. I love how the car dashboard can tell you stuff like your tire pressure. And Matt, I'm seeing that big exclamation point on my dash saying, "Hey, your back left tire, its tire pressure is pretty low. You should get that looked at." And I was like, "Oh no, what happened?" Matt, park. Get out of the car, check what's up. Matt, look at the wheel. There's a nail lodged inside it. I'm like, great.
Damn.
Great.
Hate to see it.
So, I'm taking a pic of it, sending it to my brother, sending it to my other car friend, Subin. Matt, immediately, damn, dog, your tire treads seem pretty thin there. You should probably replace your tires. Matt.
Oh, no, Jared, are you driving on bald tires?
Matt, it doesn't make sense. My car is like 3 years old. These tires are only on my car for 6 months of the year. So that's only like what? That's 18 months, Matt. Doesn't make sense.
Oh.
My tire treads are fine, but had to get a patch kit, and my brother patched up my car tire. But that was a whole week of me not being able to drive on that car until his time was free, and I didn't want to pay the $70 to get it repaired. But I think I have to buy new tires in the near future as well. Now that the thought of my treads are in my mind.
Oh no, Jared, but then what money are you going to spend on your video games?
Matt, you know where my money is being spent? So I'm taking a work, meeting at Wednesday evening. Goes on until like 10 p.m. Thought, okay, that's pretty good. Take off my headphones, go to bed. Wake up, gotta walk our dog. Matt, pick up my headphones and realize, oh wait, my headphones feel a bit funny. I look at my headset, Matt, my Sony XM5s. The hinge broke, and now one of the earphone cups are dangling. And like, wow, this sucks. This really sucks. So Matt, I thought, okay, I'm gonna pick up some electrical tape. I'm gonna tape it up. Doesn't work.
Yeah, it never works that way. Jared, I feel okay. Do you also do the thing where you kind of just like pull it off with one hand when you're not supposed to? So it puts a lot of pressure on like.
Matt. I have a pair of Sony XM3s. Same thing happened.
Oh man,
I am not a good person.
Same.
Matt, for the last 3 days, I've been just walking my dog without headphones, without the sweet noise, without any music, without any sweet words, to help push away the intrusive thoughts and thinking, man, this sucks, Matt. This sucks.
Damn.
So I have to. Luckily, there was a Shoppers Optimum deal. That's their rewards program, a redemption deal. So I was able to put some towards a new pair of Sony XM6s, just because the XM5s apparently known to have hinge issues, but also known to be pretty susceptible for people who use one hand to take off their headset. But in pure mistake zone fashion, I need to give my current headset one last hurrah. I taped that bad boy up one more time. I'm currently holding the cup to my left ear and doing an episode of the Mistake Zone here.
Oh man,
Matt Alba. And that is my weekly update of my life and the mistakes of them. Matt, how have you been lately, my friend?
I mean, Jared, I've been chilling. Jared, I have been going through an internal struggle about. Okay, Jared, this may just be a thing for me, but it was brought up to me by one of my other friends when we were playing something on Steam, and Jared, as you may know, my Steam icon is just like a screenshot of Donkey Kong that we once took when we were playing some iteration of Super Smash Brothers.
Matt, that's an iconic profile picture that I associate with you, Matt. Matt, isn't that your profile for like a lot of different places?
That is only my profile on Steam, I think, actually.
Okay.
I think it was.
I don't know. I associate that image of Donkey Kong with you. Where I would believe it was everything else.
I think I used to use it, Jared. You know how old this picture is, actually? I think I used to use it on MSN Messenger.
Okay, maybe that's why I associate it with you so much, Matt Alba.
And
so you have your Donkey Kong profile pic on Steam.
And like I was considering maybe changing it, but that felt like blasphemy.
Matt, I too have a Steam profile picture. I forget the webcomic, but of course it is a bear wearing sunglasses doing a face palm in front of what looks to be like one of those old Mac monitors. But Matt, I specifically remember setting this profile picture in, I believe, a linguistics class in like at U of T when Steam was made available on MacBooks, and that was all I had at the time. And that you can't change it. Similar to how me and Julian have our Xbox 360 era avatars, and that you unlocked through either achievements or the default ones. Where I was talking to Julian about it, how as games progress, as resolutions get higher and higher, we still have that tiny Xbox 360 avatar, and it's just that white noise surrounding it gets bigger and bigger, and we can't change it, Matt. Can't change it. It's iconic at this point. But
Oh
Matt,
man.
if you were to change your Steam profile pic, what would you change it to?
Jared, okay, see, the reason I was thinking about changing it is and Jared, I'm also having the same trouble with even my Discord profile picture, which I feel like I'm a little bit more okay with changing, but still a little bit iffy on. But I want to change it to about a month or so ago. There was a video released by Avocado Animations called birds dancing or something like that, and there's just, I don't know, a whole bunch of funny. It is just like two birds dancing to basically like a Michael Jackson song, and there's a lot of good animation frames in there that I want to use as a profile picture, but I don't know. It feels weird to change it. It's like oh man, Jared, it's like yeah. Like it's like changing your online identity. It's like when you try to transition from, I don't know, being a child to being an adult or something. You know, man.
For the longest time, I had one Steam, like, you know, your public facing username, and then I changed it to one to signify that, hey, I'm not going to actually play this game, so take the free win. And I'm at that point where I should probably change this back to like something more relevant to myself, but too far deep. Man, I think I still have one free Xbox gamer tag name change where I might just bite the bullet there, where I don't have a affinity for that one, even though that's one of my oldest names. But who knows, Matt? Who knows?
I'm sad I lost access to my like original 360 Xbox account.
Oh, damn, that's rough. Matt, don't you have any Rock Band DLC there?
I don't think I did.
My brother lost his Xbox 360 account, and I remember that I bought some now delisted Rock Band songs on that account just because he had some funds left over. Those songs are just gone. Songs are just gone, man.
Hate to see it. That's
the digital hellscape we live in. Matt, what actually is your Discord profile picture right now? Like, you know, you've had this for a while, but I've never actually figured it out.
It's a random white kid from some Vine. Like that's all it is.
Fair. Fair.
Oh,
good pull, man. Good pull. But Matt, we're here on the Mistake Zone. Me, Jaren Wade, you, Matt Alba, the Gacha Gang. Originally, I was going to ask Julian to join us just because I'm speaking about our Steam friends list. Matt, Julian right now is in game playing Mina the Hollower. He's currently in what I believe says Kindlewood. And Matt, the long-awaited game is finally here. Something that I bid on last year for Fantasy Critic. Didn't work out. And Julian was able to bid on it this year. Currently has a 93 on Open Critic. That's 23 points for Julian.
Since I last heard about it. Damn.
It did go up. But yes, this is the latest from Yacht Club Games, you know, as known for the Shovel Knight series. And Matt, finally here, Mina the Hollower. And I believe this is something you also have had hands on recently. So Matt, how's your adventures with, should I say, our girl Mina?
It's been good so far. I'm not particularly far into this game. Like I really only have put in about 2 hours into it because I was also playing. I also decided to, at the same time when I bought Mina the Hollower, to buy Paralives, and I think Paralives has been eating more of my time than Mina. But it's pretty good, Jen. I am enjoying my time with it, or I've enjoyed the time with it so far. It is set up like a old Game Boy Zelda game. For those who don't know, it is like, you know, a top-down action. Is Zelda considered like an action game? Is that usually like how people describe the Game Boy Zelda games?
I mostly associate them with adventure. Well, Matt, video game genres, am I right?
Yeah.
I still associate them with action adventure, but it's more so just, I want to say adventure games, but we know what adventure games kind of also has contextually sometimes as well.
But, you know, genre linguistics aside, it is, I guess, like a Zelda-like crossover with a rogue-like.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry, not a rogue, like a Souls like, and I don't know. I've been like kind of enjoying it so far. I feel like the controls are very smooth. I think that I was very worried about when I was initially, kind of like looking at this game is that I remember old Game Boy Zelda games feeling very cumbersome with regards to kind of inventory and active item management. Uh, because like back then you really only had like two buttons, and now we have like so many buttons that you can use, and
Mm-hmm.
I think they are like making they're not making use of like a lot of buttons, but they're making a lot of use out of the buttons that they give you, because
Fair.
a very nice thing is that you don't have to deal with Rock's feather. You have a permanent jump button in this one, Jared, and I enjoy how they're using the jump button, because it kind of like a unique mechanic to Mina the Hollower is that not only can you jump, you can also burrow, and the burrowing is kind of being used here in a lot of like kind of a lot of the puzzle making in this game, um because you do have like when you're doing your kind of traversal puzzle stuff, it is, hey, can you jump over this? You're doing some like kind of like quote unquote skill jumps here, or you're kind of burrowing under. When you burrow under the ground, you actually, I think you do move faster than when you are walking. So this is the replacement to me of the rolling around in the overworld as Link, and
Fair.
it, it
Okay.
it feels like it feels very nice. You have so much control, and I think like it was also very smart of them design wise to not lock you to the four cardinal directions. You basically, when you are underground, you are moving in, you're freely able to move around. You're not like locked to a grid or anything. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it like that part like feels very nice. You move very quickly. This is the way that you're going to be dodging attacks, and it has a very fun mechanic where it, like, when you jump out of the ground, you go farther. This is like your long jump equivalent, which like again like feels very very good. Jaren, I think I still have a lot to get used to in this game, because
Right.
while this is Zelda like in, I guess, like control and design, this is far more, I guess, Souls-esque in terms of how you're fighting enemies. Um,
Right.
because like each of the enemies, it takes a little bit to knock them down. They all do a significant amount of damage to you when they attack, which is okay, which is very very weird, because Jaren, there are some enemies in this game that you don't have hearts in this game. You just have like a standard kind of life bar, and
Mm-hmm.
there are enemies who would do like, hey, this enemy takes you like three hits to kill you, or this enemy takes 5 hits to kill you, and I still don't have like a good gauge of like how much damage somebody's gonna do to you. There are some particular enemies where I'm like, oh, this does way more damage to me than I thought, or this enemy does way less damage to me than I thought. And since it is a Souls like that, like being able to know like how much punishment you can take from enemy is like very very important.
Yep.
Um, but I am like enjoying what I played so far. Like I think that the boss fights in this are like very interesting. They like I haven't really done that many, but they do have that Souls-esque feel to them, and it's a nice departure from the Zelda style combat where it's like, hey, you pick up your dungeon item, you hit the boss like 3 times with it, and like you've solved the boss puzzle. And so far like I've been enjoying it. I The overall traversal is all kind of like puzzly based, and like kind of like walking around. I don't know, like I overall am enjoying what little of the game I've played so far, and the aesthetic though does look very weird, stretched across. Jaron, do you like playing like kind of like you've seen the art style for this game, right?
Yes.
Like, do you? I prefer playing these smaller on my screen. Like when I play this type of game or this art style, I like to play them in a windowed mode rather than in like a full screen. And I don't know if like that's just a me thing or not.
No, I definitely know where you're coming from, especially with a lot of I guess games, I was going to say indie games, but even games
Mm-hmm.
that utilize this type of pixel art style
Mm-hmm.
or maybe retro adjacent art style. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
To me, when that is blown up on a screen, it just, one, it doesn't feel natural to me, and two, sometimes it just doesn't look right.
Uh-huh.
Where
Uh-huh.
maybe I'm so, speaking about nostalgia from the beginning of the episode, used to seeing that type of art style on cramped screens, whether it be a small CRT TV or a Game Boy or a handheld, where I'm
Mm-hmm.
even not even Balatro on my monitor, I had to play window mode just because that blown up I thought didn't look great. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, maybe
Mm-hmm.
this might be more something I would want to try on the Steam Deck or something, even on like the Switch, maybe, just to have
Mm-hmm.
a smaller, not necessarily resolution, but just being able to look at a smaller screen to help immerse me in this video game. But I know where you're coming from in that regard, Matt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Like it is a little bit weird to me, but I don't know. I think overall, like the game is very interesting. There are some choices in this game that okay, there is like a particular choice in this game that I kind of question right now, but I am very early in the game, so maybe they have like a way to remedy this later on. But in Mina the Hollower, like I said, this is kind of like a Souls adjacent in kind of
Mm-hmm.
difficulty. Um, so of course you are expecting to kind of like just die a lot along the way. And one of the things that they have in the same as mechanic is something called sidearms. Like you have your main weapon, then you have, of course, your sidearms, and your sidearms are kind of just adjacent to like the link weapons, right? Like you have
Mm-hmm.
like an axe that you throw and it creates a kind of like a shockwave, or you have like a knife that you throw and it goes forward and it comes back like a boomerang. Like these are all kind
Yeah.
of just like alternate attack things. And one thing that I kind of find weird is that when you die, like these are things that you just find in the overworld, and when you die you lose the item. um
Mm.
and like when I think about it, like, oh, like in terms of, I guess, like world logic, oh, it makes sense that like, oh, when you die you do like get, I guess, like regenerated or respawn inside this underground lab at each of the bonfire equivalents. um
Mm-hmm.
but it is strange that when you die you lose power. Like if you die to a boss, you now lose a tool that you could have used to fight the boss. And
Right.
I don't know, maybe it's just something about like because the lab seems like it's going to be upgradable, or like I wouldn't be surprised because like at the bonfire, all or no, the bonfire equivalent are kind of like these little like holes that you can like dive into with the burrowing mechanic, and it is like leads you to just like a screen that's sort of like a den. Like, oh, you can upgrade yourself here, you can restock your Estus equivalents, you can change out items. But and it looks like there's a lot of empty space here, Jaren, where it looks like, hey, we can put some more little like stuff here that you can interact with.
Right.
But I do find it weird that like dying and then like having to go through like a new boss will mean that you are doing it at a worse or like a weaker state than you went into the boss at. And I don't know, that's a little odd, but I'm interested in seeing like if that is remedied in some way.
I would hope so, because man, if that happened to me, I'd probably drop the game because I'm a baby.
Oh man, oh
Where
man.
I don't know if I could take something like that, but yeah, maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's something that can be remedied a bit further into the game. I'm hoping,
Mm-hmm.
at least, Matt. I'm hoping.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is just came out, coming in hot. Matt, I know you said you only have 2 hours. Hopefully, we can get you and Julian, once you two have more time under your belt. Then again, Julian probably has a lot more under his belt. So yeah, maybe we'll do a deeper dive next time Julian is on. But that is Mina the Hollower, available now. But Matt,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
also mentioned you were playing some Paralives, and Matt,
Yes.
I feel
Mm-hmm.
like this is something that has crept up, for me at least, where it wasn't on my radar at all, and then all of a sudden this was a game definitely being talked about. Saw a bunch of content creators and VTubers playing it as well. Matt, what
Mm-hmm.
is Paralives, and is it scratching that Sims itch for you?
Paralives, yes. Paralives is The Sims, basically, an indie version of The Sims. This is the city skylines for The Sims to like EA's Sim City and The Sims, and it is scratching the builder itch for me. Because Jared, I think one of the things I really, really always liked doing in The Sims is just building houses. And Jared, now that I'm like an adult who's thinking about houses and stuff in a more proper way, I I think I can build much better houses now than when I was a lot younger. Right. And I don't know, it is very much scratching that itch. It is I think very okay. Jaren, this is an early access game where there is like notes all over the place saying, "Hey, you can interact, you can like put these things into your world. They don't do anything yet.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, we haven't made it so that like the characters in this game can like interact with the world. But Jaren, they have a very robust character creator, and they have a like very robust world building like house building like a tool set. A lot of the kind of I think life living stuff is still very that the life living stuff is the stuff that feels like it's the most being worked on, which I guess which I guess makes sense. But right. Yeah, like I am having a lot of fun with this game, Jaren. I think that the character creator here is like very, very good. There are so many sliders in this game, Jaren. There's so many sliders, and a thing that I appreciate that games do is that instead of just having like, oh, here is your like, you just have like okay, you pick your mouth heading, and then it's like, okay, you have like all these, what do you call it? Kind of just headings like, oh, here's your upper lip slider, here's your lower lip slider, here's your mouth width slider. Instead of having that, I really appreciate it when games that like what Paralives does is that it just has like a blueprint of a mouth, and then it has like a grab point, I guess, and then you can just kind of like click on the grab point and slide it back and forth, so you have a much better idea of what you're interacting with here.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And Jaren, this also has a butt slider, and the butt slider is on 2 axes, so you can decide how like what big your butt is and how up or down and like it leans. And I don't know, I thought that was a good goof. And oh man, Jaren, this game has this game has a posture slider, which I don't know how you feel about that, but it's I don't know. To me, I'm like, oh man, I should adjust this. If I'm making a character based on myself, I really should adjust this posture slider to be more accurate. But I don't want to admit how bad my posture is.
When you told me butt slider, I was like, good, that's great. That's technology. That's Sims technology for 2026. But now you're telling me posture slider? I think we've gone too far, Matt. I think we've gone too far. Where now I'm actively thinking about my own posture and feeling really bad about myself.
Jared, whenever I think about posture now, I keep thinking about I feel like whenever there's a game with a character creator and there is like it also happens to intersect with the anime adjacent community, there is always somebody who creates a character of Shigure Ui and her bad posture. And I mean,
you have to. That's classic, Matt. That's a classic.
That's it's always a good goof.
That's just the 1-1 of VTuber character creation, Matt. But yes, Paralives, Matt. I guess in terms of has most of your time just been character creation, or have you been doing a lot of the actual quote unquote living?
I think it like the character creation really, I guess, like only really happened like the one time that I was creating my character. A lot of my time has been split between the living and the building, and dude, I like the building. Like they have a lot of like really good tools here. I think really the only tool that is kind of weird right now is the roof tool. I think the roofs like need a little bit of work, but it is not a bad tool. But I think the thing that I really, really like here is they have I guess like I think they just call it in game. They call it like decor or clutter, which is things you just put in the world. These are just like, oh, you can put a pair of shoes just like randomly in the world. Like you can't really interact with these pair of shoes, but they're there as decoration. You can put like just a duffel bag somewhere. You can, Jaren, they have not Gundams, they have not Hatsune Miku, they have actual Among Us. I didn't know that this game was collabing with Among Us. But you know, they have like all these little figures. Jaren, I got myself a, what do you call it, a display shelf, and now I just have like, you know, figs and stuff on it. It's a good goof. It's a good goof, and
it's a good goof, man.
Jaren, I think like, okay, I think the room for me that really gets the most out of this like clutter stuff is the kitchen, because I spent, I think, half of my house's budget on just decorating the kitchen, because you are able to put things like napkin dispensers. You're able to put things like, you know, salt and pepper shakers or spice racks or knives or mixing bowls and, you know, fruit and dish drying racks and just mugs. And the thing that really you know, I think takes the most time, which is you have pantry items in there, so you can just put like, you know, stacks of cereal on a shelf or bags of chips and stuff like that. And it really adds, and it really also really takes away from your house budget. But having that level of, I guess, house building decoration really is something that really engrosses me for this type of game, because I really like that I've always really liked that aspect of I guess like Sims and Sim adjacent type games. But yeah, as far as the game as a whole goes, like this is very much the Sims with the added bells and whistles. When you go into, you know, the actual living part, Jaren, you can read fan fiction in this game. That is definitely one of the headings that they decided to put, which is to me a good goof.
Okay.
When I spun up the computer the first time and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go find a job, but one of these instead says, you know, you just like a read fan fiction.
I mean, who hasn't done that when you were supposed to be doing finding employment, Matt?
One thing I kind of actually like don't like about this game is kind of the menus, because they are really just like, when you press like an item to interact with it, it is just in essence a drop down list that you pick your thing from. And I think I was so used to like nested sim menus where it's like, oh, you click the item and then there's like, you want to do leisure here, you want to do what do you call it, like just like a relaxation, or you want to do work, and then like it's just like nested menus in menus that let you kind of pick what you want to do. I think I was just like very used to that. So seeing just a basic list like this is a little bit like I guess like UI wise a little bit like disappointing to me. I don't know if they're going to be changing that or not, or they're going to try to stick to this sort of list thing. But I can see them like working the list in a way that it doesn't look that, or doesn't seem that weird. But I like the way that they are doing sim interaction now, where you have a lot more choice there. Because in the Sims before, it would just be like, oh, like click on the sim and go talk to them for a bit. Like here, you want to like pick like, oh, I'm going to flirt with the sim, I'm going to be friendly with the sim, I'm going to, you know, like it is kind of just like very high level sort of, how does this interaction go? And while you do sort of do that kind of pick here when you are interacting with a specific sim, it does have this like bar that's like, okay, these sims are talking and now you are like picking a topic, and the topic that you pick is usually just like one of three things, where it's like, hey, you are, based on your personality, it's like, oh, if I have like the technology personality, I can just like say some stuff about like, oh, I really like my new computer, or like some dumb stuff like that. And it adds a lot, I think, to the social part of the game, and it adds a lot to the point where they're, at least so far for like the romance stuff, you have, when you're asking someone like a romantic related question, you are just like given a percentage, and it's like, hey, this is the percentage that this conversation tree is gonna go good for you, and
Right.
I'm assuming that they're going to be adding that to all the other conversation lines. But I fully understand why the people at the Paralives company decided, hey, we should really work in the romance before we put this out for early access.
For sure.
But I don't know. I like all these like kind of small changes that they've done, but this game very very much feels like it is in early access. More so than a lot of like other early access games that I've played, because I guess like due to the nature of this game compared to other early access games where it's like, okay, here's the like early access of our game, it is just like the first few levels, whereas you have to, for Paralives, basically show the whole thing and be like, hey, this functionality like doesn't work. And I think like a thing that I'm kind of also hoping that they fix later is the resolution of a lot of the clutter is just like very low quality. So it's like a little weird to be like, kind of looking at this a higher textured like kitchen counter, and on top of it is a very blurry cereal box. But like for the most part, a lot of my gripes with this game are very much in the details. The base game itself does seem very solid, and I'm since this is an early access, I do see a lot of places that this is going to be improved on in the future, and I'm very interested in seeing where this ends up going.
Matt, 3 things. So you did say this is early access, have to
yes.
ask. Did they note when 1.0 is, or is this just kind of an ongoing thing for the time being?
No, they did not. I was kind of looking for that as well, and I didn't see anything specific. But as far as I know, there was no hard date for when 1.0 is happening.
Right. And, just looking on the store page right now, one of the GIFs that is on the storefront is them scaling a couch to make it bigger or smaller. Matt, that's not sitting right with me. That's not sitting right with me.
Jared, actually, one of the things I like really thought was like a good goof is just like how the scaling works. Because like some things you scale kind of left and right, like kitchen counters. You kind of, it's a lot easier to just like put one and then scale it left and right depending on how far you want the kitchen counter to reach. And it'll like dynamically like add cabinets to like the bottom of your kitchen cabinet as you extend it, so that it's not just like 2 big kitchen cabinet doors that cover like 10 feet of space. It'll add cabinets as it goes along. But I thought like a very good goof there is that you can also do that for beds, and it'll just keep adding pillows there. So there is like I have been just like scrubbing through people playing this game, and one streamer was just like, oh, I'm just going to create a bed for like herself and like all her housemates, and she would just like take the bed and just drag it so it's just 4 people wide. And I don't know, I thought that was a good goof.
That's pretty good. And Matt, I guess my final question that I want to get your thoughts on is when I think The Sims, I think it has like this specific look. But I think one of the things that I don't want to say threw me off about Paralives, but it was one thing that stuck out the most is kind of like the art style, where it is stylized and it does have this almost cell shaded quality to it, where Matt, just over in terms of the overall aesthetic, the visuals, what do you think about just the visuals to Paralives?
I like the visuals. It is a little bit, for me, it is a little bit more on the flatter side, or in terms of how they decided to do cell shading. But I think the visuals work for this type of game. I think they were trying to make it so that it isn't like graphically intensive. The way that they built their world, I do kind of just, I think it fits like with the style. I do kind of like wish that the character model, like their face model, was like a little bit different. But overall, like as a art style, I do think that the the game is like very, very solid. Like it's consistent across like everything, and the fact that they're not going for anything like more realistic looking is good. Also, they have their own style of like fake Simglish, which I think is like a very important ad, because I feel like if they were talking real words, I wouldn't like this game as much.
Matt, for sim games like this, do you think people want real language for immersion, or is there something? And I guess to you personally, is there something that crosses the line when you start introducing actual language to these games?
I think it's crossing the line. I think that when you give them real language, you're playing too close, like God.
Yeah. Fair enough. But yeah, that is Paralives, available in early access. Something we'll probably be checking in with you, Matt, as it gets more and more updates as well, and on the road to 1.0 whenever that is. Looking forward to hear about your adventures. Matt, can you put people in pools and take away the ladders?
I have not found a way to make a pool yet.
Okay.
I'm going to assume that you will be able to, though, because I feel like that's a very important part of the Sims experience.
Yes. I mean, if you're not able to do that, what's the point? Matt, this just in from one Julian. And he says, speaking about Mina the Hollower, I don't want to be that guy, but I don't think Mina the Hollower is that hard if you're taking the time to explore. Gamers these days are soft. And then Matt, he also posted on Steam a Mina the Hollower review based on 8 hours of play, 8 hours on record. And Julian simply gives it a thumbs up and says, bussin'. Thank you, Julian.
Thanks, Julian.
But Matt, I too have been playing a new video game for the last 2 weeks. And currently at this time, I haven't reviewed it on Steam, but in the last, I have a total playtime of 52 hours, Matt.
Jaren,
what's up?
Jaren, do you review Steam games that often? I feel like I should do it more.
Matt, I'm going to click my profile on Steam right now. I know I'm probably going to be doxing myself. I currently have 3 reviews up. One for Balatro, one for Tales of the Borderlands, and one for Torchlight. My most recent one being Balatro, posted last year, simply says Balawo. Bala-wo. Yep.
Oh, man.
I hope someone gives me a thumbs up. Now, that was based on 99.8 hours of play. At review time. Yes.
That's a lot of hours, Sharon.
I love me some Balatro. Hopefully the DLC or the expansion, I'm not sure what Local Thunk's going to be doing this year, but hopefully it's soon. But Matt, speaking about, I don't know what we were speaking about, but Matt, I've been, I gotta go fast. You know me, Matt. For all our friends that have followed Saturday Morning Arcade Lore, there was a time where I would tell you about Forza Horizon 2 for like 4 weeks in a row, Matt. And my adventures of a boy trying to go fast. And now it is 2026, and the dream has finally been realized because, Matt, I've been playing Forza Horizon 6. Came out probably 2-3 weeks ago at this point, at the time of recording. I'm not sure. Time is a blur, just like my surroundings when I'm going fast. Because, Matt, as I said before, gotta go fast. Or do you have to? More on that later. But Matt, Forza Horizon 6 is one of those milestone games to me. Just because, last time I was on the Mistake Zone, we were talking about Mixtape. And that nostalgic feeling that kind of I look for in games, or I associate with the games. And that one of my core memories of the Forza Horizon franchise overall was specifically, visiting my partner at the time during the Microsoft presser when on the eve of Forza Horizon 4 being announced, and me just lying in bed waiting for the reveal trailer to drop because, Matt, this isn't an understatement. Ever since Forza Horizon 2, or even Forza Horizon 1, this community has been clamoring for the Horizon games to go to Japan.
Of course.
As a podcast who romanticizes Japan, probably to an unhealthy degree, I too would want this game series to finally race around Japan. And
Mm-hmm.
I specifically remember Forza Horizon 4, seeing the reveal trailer, realizing it's going to be in the UK. And then on the eve of Forza Horizon 5, thinking, okay, this is it. We're going to go to Japan. And then all of a sudden, due to a Hot Wheels packaging leak, it was revealed it was going to be in Mexico. But the time is now. And yes, Forza Horizon 6 takes place in Japan. This is, they say the biggest map in Forza Horizon history. And I think, one of my favorite parts about this game is Tokyo City being one of the bigger city areas that the game has seen. Even though, the main roads are pretty wide, you do have those really tight alleyways in between that, can create some hectic moments as well. But for someone who places Forza Horizon 2 as, one of his favorite games of all time, this is probably up there, probably replacing it just for everything to come together. Because Matt, remember when I said mixtape feels like this was created in a vat for me? Kind of the same thing for the Forza Horizon 6, where you have all those things that I've loved from this franchise for 5 games now, refined better than ever, but also all these little intricacies that specifically appeal to me at this time, where this is the same Forza Horizon that but just they keep refining it. And it gets to the point where, Matt, you can only refine something for so long until you have to innovate. Like, Playground games can continue, just new coat of paint, new area, new location, and you can probably get away with that. But eventually, you start to stagnate, and I think that's where I am with Forza Horizon 6. I think this is the best the franchise has ever been, but I think once you pull the ripcord, once you hit the go to Japan button, I feel like expectations from here are, where do you go now that you've done the thing that everyone wanted? And that's kind of what my headspace is towards Forza Horizon 6. It's a great product now, and to play it in the moment, feel like this is the best the game has ever felt. Car handling, just being able to drive and vibe around, feel great. But it's in the back of my head now of, I know this is probably a toxic mindset to have, but what's next after this? But that's maybe a discussion further down the road. But going to the now,
Jaren, they're going to space. They're going to space, Jaren.
You have to, Matt. There's a rocket ship here.
Oh,
of course. The space station, the Japan space station equivalent. And at one point, a rocket takes off, and that,
of course,
I saw the Fast and Furious games, of course. But speaking about Forza Horizon 6 and how this game feels like it was made in a vat, Matt, the reason I say that is during some of your key races, a song will play. And I always thought that those songs that they play during them are, set. This is what the developer intended. But after watching a bunch of, games journalists and VTubers play the game, those songs were random. And that meant my experience with this game was, I feel like specifically, I don't know if Forza is listening. I know Anna is the AI assistant in the game. I don't know if Anna's listening to me, but Matt, when I started the game and you're racing towards the first, the introductory race after the prologue, you just landed in Tokyo, you meet up with your friends in this game, and you're driving to the first event. On the radio station, it was a unreleased Anderson .Paak song, and I thought, man, this is great. Pull up into start the race, all of a sudden, Matt, Yosobi's Idol starts playing, and I thought, damn,
man.
this is Jaren to a T. And then, the Chase Zero race, the showcase race that everyone's talking about. I do that for myself. Otto's New Genesis is playing, and I thought, damn, you can't write anything better than this. Matt, you can't write anything better than this until you get to the end, where, spoilers for Forza Horizon, and this probably doesn't mean anything to anyone but myself, but in terms of game progression in the Forza Horizon games, these scaled back the, social media aspect, that bladed, obnoxious, in your face. Hey, you need to get social media followers. So
Oh,
one
okay.
thing I guess Playground Games took to heart was, just make it more low key, make it more grounded. And the progression system is less aggressive than it was in the last game, where I mean that the Forza Horizon games is always about getting wristbands, and you're
Mm-hmm.
doing races, leveling up your wristband to the next caliber of wristband, and then you unlock new sets of races by every time and events every time you unlock a new wristband. And I think the criticism for the last few games is that with the wristband stuff, there was no car restrictions. So
Okay.
even when the game itself is just vomiting cars through wheel spins to give to you, you can immediately right off the bat start racing in like S1, S2, R ranked cars or class cars, and you're all of a sudden have hypercars at your disposal and just going fast throughout the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was, I believe, the Hot Wheels DLC in Forza Horizon 5 that they brought back a more grounded class restriction wristband system, previous, like similarly seen in the first games, and that's incorporated again in Forza Horizon 6, where, you get your green wristband. All your events are like D class cars. Then you level up, you get to C class, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that was one of the ways they started grounding wristband progression, just so you're not immediately forced into hypercars right off the gate. But now that we have the progression, Matt, the final wristband you unlock is your gold wristband, and that gives you entry into Legends Island. And
Uh-huh.
you would think, okay, to unlock Legends Island and your golden wristband, you have to do some crazy stunt. Like one of the wristband um, events to unlock was, again, racing the Gundam, racing Chaser Zero. Another was racing a bunch of jets, or it's you either do that, a showcase event like that, or like obstacle courses.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think that for the gold wristband, damn, this is going to be lit. This is going to be crazy. Not
Uh-huh.
the gold wristband event is essentially a victory lap of you driving from one end to Legends Island, and it's just a vibe. It's you driving. But
Mm.
Matt,
Mm-hmm.
just wait.
Okay.
This is Forza Horizon 6 in
Uh-huh.
Japan.
Uh-huh.
So you would think, okay, I'm just driving to point A to point B. What's so special about this? Matt,
Uh-huh.
as you drive to Legends Island, all of a sudden, your friend says, hey, we're going to be joined by some people in this race. And those people, Matt, are NPCs and characters from the previous Forza Horizon games, driving cover cars and notable cars from each of those games. And they're just driving alongside you. You're going to Legend Island. It's, the evening going into night. Then all of a sudden, fireworks, Matt, when you reach Legend Island. And in the sky, it just says Horizon Festival. And Matt,
oh, man. Mm-hmm.
this is anime. This is anime.
Oh.
That perfectly, and that's why I have it in the back of my mind of when you're doing this celebration of the series, 6 games deep, you're bringing all the NPCs, you're bringing all the cover cars back. How do you not have this sense of finality here and then think, where do you go from here?
Oh,
but
man.
Maybe that's just me being a sentimental boy. But Matt, there was one thing I really wanted to talk to you about Forza Horizon 6. And that is the game's difficulty and what that means to kind of when it comes to balancing a racing game and maybe even a sports game when you think about it. Because Matt, if there's one thing that I've always been critical about the Forza Horizon games is the AI difficulty in the game. And I believe this is something that has consistently come up when discussing these games, especially if you're kind of playing at a more than casual level. Where I think when following different communities, this has been definitely something on the minds of people. Where, Matt, just straight off the bat, when it comes to racing games, and this is something we've been accustomed to since the Mario Kart days, since the Burnout days, and so on and so forth. Matt, what do you think about rubber band AI in general and for the games you play?
I, in general, these days kind of view rubber band AI as like almost like the less evil of like multiple evils, I guess. The lesser of a bunch of evils, because like I think that rubber band AI is usually not going to like totally mess with you until you start getting into, I guess, like higher level difficulties against like AIs. Because usually, okay, maybe I'm just imagining this, Jaren, but when I'm playing racing games, I usually don't notice a rubber band AI until I get to like higher difficulties.
Yeah.
I don't know if like that's the same for you.
No, that's definitely been the case with the Forza Horizon games, where people, I think what the recommendation is, there's a bunch of different difficulties, ranging from rookie to like unbeatable. And I think one of the consensuses I've seen from different communities is you probably want to set it to above average difficulty, just because you're still getting, the info that you're still chasing clean racing at that point. Because once you start to bump it up to even highly skilled and expert, you start to see, I feel like it starts to teach you bad habits, just because it goes from trying to keep it clean when you're racing, stay on the track, don't hit the dirt, clean lines and all that stuff, to actively fighting against the AI. And I think when you're in the higher difficulties, it becomes super noticeable, because Matt, with the Forza Horizon games, and I guess more sim related games, you're actively trying to tune your car. And, but the way tuning works is, do you want your car to be good in off-road events? Do you want it to be good at turning? Do you want it to be good at like straightaways, at launches? And, you're doing this push and pull of trying to efficiently tune your car to the type of event you're doing. And of course, you got to make trade-offs, because you can't be the master of everything, right? And I think when you get to higher difficulties or the Forza games, you start to see how the rubber band works, in that your opponents are actively doing things that just don't make sense physically in the game, where not only are the corner monsters, but their launches are crazy, their straightaways are crazy. And I think that's my biggest issue when you get into the higher difficulties. Sure, it's that notion of you got to get good, but Matt, when you're used to game rules, personally, how do you feel when you see AI opponents kind of breaking those game rules, breaking those like defined, I guess, physics of a game? Like, is that something you kind of notice? Is it egregious? Is it something that gets to you, or is it just something that you kind of deal with and move on?
I honestly am in the camp of just deal with it and move on. Especially if like it. Yeah, I guess, Jared, I've just been worn down by the video game AI industry in that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, this is just like how it is. They're gonna. This is how like they're gonna be. So I have to, Jared. I guess like you were saying, I have to build bad habits around this. So I will choose the AI myself.
Yeah, and I think that's where the shame comes in with Forza Horizon 6. I normally play on around highly skilled or expert difficulty, but then it gets to that moment of, wait, I'm resetting a lot of these races just so the AI maybe kind of clumps together at one point, so I'm able to break through the pack and then maintain my lead. Or, well, it sucks when you're obviously going at the same speed as an opponent, and then you have to slow down to take a turn, and all of a sudden they're just slingshotting through. And it's kind of those moments of, well, the only way for me to actually win this race is if I just ram into this other car at one point. I don't know. I think that just doesn't feel great, where I might have to bump it down to the above average difficulty just to find that better balance between, okay, this looks like quote unquote realistic racing, versus I need to ram every single car in my way, because there's no way I'm going to win otherwise. So I don't know. That's just something that has been on my mind for a lot of these Forza Horizon games. And then at the same time, to your point, Matt, how do you properly balance a game like this if you don't go that route? Like, it's one thing to have everything be realistic, but what's unbeatable at that point if they're not cheating? But that, I mentioned it before, the Gundam race, the infamous Gundam race.
Yes.
The biggest showcase, we're watching a lot of VTubers react to it. It's really cool. I was so hyped to do that Gundam race at first. And then
Oh
I
no.
got to the ending.
Uh-huh.
Matt,
Uh-huh.
how do you feel about set piece moments like this? You know, you're racing a big mech and who's obviously beating you throughout the entire race.
Uh-huh.
And then it hits the emergency shutdown because it overheats at the end.
Oh.
Matt, I didn't like that.
Oh.
And then, you know, the photo finish is the mech is crashing out, it's slowing down, and it's trying to reach for the finish line. And then, of course, split second. Matt, it's a showcase. It's for the vibes. You're doing it for the spectacle. But I don't know, seeing Chaser Zero, seeing our not Gundam just power down, and at the end of the race, I don't know, Matt. Felt bad. Felt bad. Matt, what's your take? As a fan of Gundam, I'm sure you've seen what Chaser Zero looks like.
Uh-huh.
Matt, how do you think that mech's designed?
You know what? I think it's okay. I don't know. I think like in my head when I heard that you're gonna be racing a mech, I had a lot more detail, I guess, in mind. And I think that the Forza Horizon mech is a little bit more plain than I was expecting. And Jaren, I think the fact that it runs is really like, you know, I don't know, ruining the immersion for me.
It runs and it skates, Matt. Yeah.
I'm used to my mechs kind of, you know, just like flying along the ground. But yeah.
It's a cool set piece. And I do like, I know this was one of the criticisms I told you back when we talked about one of the other previous Forza Horizon games where, you know, these showcase races kind of over the top. I'm glad there's only 2 of them in this game so far. And of course, when you had the mech, that's going to be your set piece one. But yeah, I'm glad they're showing restraint and not overdoing it. But Matt, if I had to be completely honest, when he said that, you know, when the idea of Forza Horizon being in Japan was floating around, I honestly thought that one of the set piece races or showcase races would be you racing either a Hatsune Miku like balloon float or an Astro Boy balloon float. And I'm kind of sad that neither are in the game. Actually, Matt, if there's one thing that kind of bummed me out was the lack of Vocaloid songs on the game soundtrack. Matt, this soundtrack has so many artists, so many different songs that mean something to me. You know, all the different radio stations have several artists that I'm huge fans of, but I was really surprised that there was no Hatsune Miku adjacent song. 2, Matt, there's no Eurobeat in this game. Like, I thought there was going to be a Eurobeat station on lock, but there's not. There's like a synth radio station, but Matt, I'm hoping for DLC. But
yeah,
overall, it's just a great time. As I said before, it is, Matt, when Mario Kart World came out and I was kind of, you know, talking about how low-key disappointed I was in the game just because you have this open world playground. And then I kept, you know, complaining to you and Mark that I just want this game to be Forza Horizon. And kind of playing through Forza Horizon 6 right now, this is once again that playground, that car playground. Even though if you're not a car person, I'm pretty sure there's something you can get out of this. As long as you just want to be there for the vibes and find something you want to do. Matt, each open world instance has 12 other drivers just doing their own thing around the world. But it's one of those cool things where you can just be driving around and all of a sudden you're using your preset phrases to invite people to race with you or do an event. And it still has the Horizon parties where at the top of every hour, you'll just get this big notice in the world saying, hey, do you want to go to this location, queue up for basically a series of 3 events that you can do with everyone on the server right now or everyone in this instance? Do you want to do speed events? Do you want to do wreckage events? Do you want to do drift events? And then, you know, it's just 3 events trying to do different skill challenges, different speed challenges. And then you do the 3 rounds, you collect your credits and then go about your business. And I don't know, Matt, it's just something about this environment that the Forza Horizon games have crafted that just feels great to play. The online integration has always been nice. Just with everything that you do afterwards, you get that notification of, hey, you just did a speed trap to see how fast you can go through this certain point. this was your score, and this was the score of someone else on your friend board. Do you want to try to do that again? We're Matt. Luckily, back in the Forza Horizon 3 days, I added someone from the Giant Bomb community, added a bunch of people, and there's still a few people still playing the Forza Horizon game. So it's good to have a leaderboard rival for you. But at the same time, Matt, I've been venturing online a lot more because there are the Toge races. And Matt, we grew up with Tokyo Drift. And the Toge races are just these downhill big curves, one-on-one matchups. And that it's either everyone overshoots the first turn and drives off the cliff, then quits your game, or you realize that I'm too conservative. It's one thing to crush bots, but when you go online, especially in that one-on-one environment, and people have no fear and know how to corner, that it is intimidating. But yeah,
Jaren,
what's up?
Are the like this is taking place in Japan, but is it like, because I'm not sure about like I guess like just for Horizon Forza in general, like does it use realistic maps, or is it just like, oh, here's the vibe of Tokyo, or is this like, oh, this is an actual Tokyo street?
So same with like Mexico and Australia, and even like when they did Europe, which I believe or they did the UK, but then they also did like, I believe it was like Italy and like north of France at one point. These are interpretations of those areas where you know, I'm driving through Tokyo City, and it's like, of course you'll have Shibuya crossing, and then you'll have, you know, just a couple seconds down the road you get that Akahara strip. And, you know, it's not one-to-one, but the vibes are there. The landmarks are there. Where I don't believe you get, you get your bamboo forest equivalent, even though I don't believe that's like nowhere near Tokyo.
Yeah.
So it's vibes, Matt. It's vibes, but it feels like you know where you're driving at least. You know the set piece landmarks. You know, Tokyo Tower is there. So yeah, it's not one-to-one, but the vibes are there, man. And the vibes are immaculate. And yeah, I'm just really curious to see where they go from here. I know there are two expansions planned. Usually one of them is like a island expansion or a rally expansion. And then for the last few games, we've had two Hot Wheels expansions and one Lego expansion, which are different maps, different islands for you to travel. So I'm curious to see if we go back to Lego this time around, if they do another Hot Wheels one, or they do another branded one in general. But yeah, Matt, it's just a good time. This was everything I wanted Mario Kart to be, but this is still Forza Horizon through and through. Chasing rivals is great. Cars feel great. And I don't know, I'm just having a good time, Matt. I'm scared to try to get all achievements, because apparently getting level 100 for your online player level it takes hundreds, if not thousands of hours, and I hope they nerf that, because I don't want to play online for that long, Matt.
Damn.
Don't want to play online for that long. But yes, that is Forza Horizon 6, available now. Good times. And yeah, actually, I don't know. It's one thing I do want to say is with Forza Horizon 5, you can argue that the map did feel pretty flat. And kind of, again, Matt, to your question, this isn't a one-to-one of Japan in any sense. But in terms of like how the map itself is designed, it does feel like a lot more vertical. You have like a lot more, you know, those drift mountains. You have the spiraling highways. Even Tokyo being so big with the wide roads, you still have like those small alleyways to drive through. So I don't know, if you just want to vibe out, if you just want to drive cool cars, if you want to slap some anime vinyl liveries on your car as well, this is the game for you.
Jaren, what kind of Itasha do you have? What kind of Itasha are you rocking?
Matt? All of them. Matt... I hate when I pull up to a Toge race, you know, the one-on-one Toge race, and then it's like everyone with, you know, just their standard car. The first Toge race I ever did online, I pulled up with my Zhao ZZZ Mazda, and then someone had their Miku Subaru. But ever since then, every Toge race, the way the intros, they pull up in their like normal car, and then it's just me with the most gaudy anime decals imaginable, and not
Uh-huh.
it's making me feel some ways. But yeah, that is the Forza Horizon game. I'm really curious to see where they go from here. I think Germany would be a good place just with the car culture there. I think
Mm.
Brazil would be pretty good, somewhere in Africa. Not
Uh-huh.
if they were to do a Canadian region, it would have to
Mm-hmm.
be like Vancouver, right? You would think, just in terms of terrain variety. Like
Yeah,
that, it has
yeah.
to be Vancouver, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anywhere else that's just like not all flat. Actually, maybe like Maritimes would be interesting. Just do they play
Hmm.
a lot with like water in Forza games or no?
Not really. Not
Mm.
that's what makes me most mad about like the rubber band AI. Sometimes you'll hit like a pool of water and like slow. Of course you're gonna slow down,
Mm-hmm,
but to
mm-hmm.
see like the AI just like barrel through it, I get so mad. I get so mad,
No,
mad.
no.
Um, I do have to say, this continues to play with the seasons. Um,
Mm.
it was really smart on launch week to start off with the spring season because Matt
Yeah,
driving through all those cherry blossoms,
of course, of
it's a
course,
gorgeous game.
of
Matt, it's a
course.
gorgeous game where like I feel like everyone of my friends I talk to about Forza Horizon 6 is just talking about how gorgeous it looks. Even with my setup that is a bit dated now, still looks great, Matt.
Oh wait,
I'm pushing
Jared.
medium, still looks
Uh
great.
huh.
What's up?
Are the seasons like tied to real time?
No, they
Oh,
are
okay.
on a weekly rotation. So every month, it started off with spring season. So right now we're in the fall, and those are kind
Mm.
of tied to your festival playlist, which are their kind of their seasonal events.
I
Every
see. I
week
see.
brings you new challenges. So yeah, next week is winter, and then back to spring. So
Mm-hmm.
yep, just
Oh.
having some good time, and not one of the to kind of tie it all together. One of the new radio stations introduced in this game is Sub Pop Records, legendary indie band. And
Mm-hmm.
I know I was listening to, or sorry, indie label. Um, and then one of their DJs, I like scrolling through all the different radio stations. And when it got to Sub Pop, they were doing their radio ad, like, their call in or their
Uh huh. Uh
introduction.
huh.
And they said, Sub Pop Radio, not the best, but pretty good. And Matt,
Ooh. Uh huh. Oh, that's pretty
I
good.
feel like I feel that perfectly to me encapsulates the mistake zone. And I
Mm.
thought, man,
Uh huh.
just hearing the sub bop DJ say that, I thought, yep, that's how I feel.
Uh huh.
That's how I
Okay.
feel. But
Yeah, that's good. That's
Matt,
good.
arguably the best open world racing game on the
Mm.
market right now, and probably the best Forza Horizon for me. And that is Forza Horizon 6, available now.
Mm.
But Matt,
Hmm.
after I talked your ear off with some Forza Horizon,
Uh
we
huh.
have to go into the Don't Match Me challenge. Because, Matt,
Hmm. Hmm.
every week we'll bring forth 5 questions, and all our friends have to do listening is come up with an answer that doesn't match our own. Matt, if you want to play on the above average difficulty, try not to match me. But if you want to try to play on highly skilled, try not to
Mm.
match Matt as well. So, Matt,
Hmm.
as I
Mm.
said, talk to you about Forza Horizon 6. So it's only right that I hit you with a Forza Horizon 6 or just Forza Horizon Don't Match Me challenge. So,
Hmm.
friends, if you don't know an answer, feel free to pause this episode, look it up, and hopefully whatever you find doesn't match what we have. So, Matt,
Hmm.
you might have to look some stuff up as well.
Hmm.
But we'll get there when we get there. But starting with things off, Matt and
Hmm.
friends, name any car manufacturer that appears in Forza Horizon 6.
Hmm.
Name any car manufacturer that appears in Forza Horizon 6. In five, four, three, two, one. Friends, if you
Hmm.
said Nissan, you're out.
Ooh.
That,
Uh huh.
what car are you driving?
I mean, Sharon, I just went with the good old one that I know is is definitely in here because you mentioned it earlier. I remember the Subaru.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Quack, quack, Nat. Quack,
Quack quack
quack.
quack quack.
Nat,
Uh huh.
people, I wonder if people remember, but there was a Fast and Furious mini expansion for Forza Horizon 2 that was narrated by our friend Ludacris. So Matt,
Oh. Uh huh.
just simple. Name any Fast and Furious movie. Name
Ooh.
any Fast and Furious movie.
Okay.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Friends, if you said Ludacris's debut, Too Fast, Too Furious, you're
Oh
out.
no, Jared.
Oh no,
I tried to avoid Tokyo Drift. I went one down.
I too tried to avoid Tokyo Drift.
Oh man.
Man.
Oh man. It's like when you're like walking towards somebody in like a hallway and you both like shift in the same direction.
Yep. Yep. Oh man. Matt might have to look this up.
Mm-hmm.
But name any radio station that appears in Forza Horizon 6.
Ooh,
Name any radio station in Forza Horizon 6. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Friends, if you said Horizon XS, you're out.
Ooh. Uh-huh.
Which radio station are you rocking right now?
Jared, of course you know I had to take the gamble, and I went with Gacha City Radio.
That is... Matt, I do like all the different radio stations, but whenever I start the game and it's in the initial loading screen, it says my most listened to radio station is Gacha City Radio. Matt, do you have the track listing up for the Gacha City Radio set list?
I do not. I just have like the list of radio stations.
Okay. But I was going to ask what you thought about it, but it has some good ones there, but could have had a bit more for my liking, just a bit more. So Matt, question 4. Name any car that has appeared on the cover of a Forza Horizon game.
Oh.
Name any car that has appeared on the cover of a Forza Horizon game. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, friends, if you said the Toyota Land Cruiser from Forza Horizon 6, one of the cars from Forza Horizon 6, you're out. Matt, which car you got?
Jaren, I guess I'm with the first one, which is the Dodge Viper.
Yep. The Dodge Viper SRT GTS from Forza Horizon 1. Would you believe me if I said my answer was one of the easier car names to pronounce?
That doesn't surprise me at all, Jaren.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, man.
And finally, I said we were 6 games deep, but name any location that the Forza Horizon games have taken place in. Name any location that the Forza Horizon games have taken place in. Okay. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you said Mexico, you're out.
Oh, damn, Jared, you got me again.
No.
Oh, no, Jared, I had to shift down again, and we both went in the same direction.
Matt, if high school drama has taught me anything, it's all gotta go to Mexico. Gotta go to Mexico.
Gotta go to Mexico.
And Matt, that has been the Forza Horizon Don't Match Me challenge for this week. And Matt, another beefy boy episode with the Gacha Gang here on the Mistake Zone. Matt, I'm gonna be honest. Since we're the Gacha Gang, I thought of doing a YOLO 10 pull in ZZZ to commemorate this occasion. Matt, I didn't want to risk it. Didn't want to risk it because unfortunately there's no way I'm gonna build S Billy if I had him.
Safe.
But Matt, Summer Games Fest next week. So we're going to have just talk about what the Mr. Keeley does, Sony State of Play. There's probably going to be an Xbox Direct. Matt, we're probably going to get a Nintendo Direct, right? Probably.
Yeah. For some reason I feel like they'll just be like, I don't know, contrarian, and they'll do it the week after or something.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. But Matt, on the eve of Summer Games Fest, what are your wild predictions? Any wild predictions that I'll scramble towards Fantasy Critic for?
I don't think that they're gonna put out any like hard news about it, but I'm hoping that Larian is gonna put out something about the new Divinity game. I think that's probably something that I want to see the most, but I also do not expect to see anything about it at all.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll finally see more of what's the Naughty Dog Intergalactic, right?
I
know Wolverine's opening the Sony State of Play, but I'm really curious to see anything else from Intergalactic. But if not, for the sake of my fantasy critic, I'm hoping we see Zelda.
Ooh.
Matt, gotta ask you. This has been going around. If the Ocarina of Time remake is a real thing, how many mechanics do you think? I know we're not gonna get the the builder stuff from Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
But is there any modern Zelda from Tears, from Breath of the Wild, that anything from those modern games that make it into the remake, you think? Or how modernized do you think this will be? Do you think this will be like a Final Fantasy VII jump in a way, or are your expectations a bit more grounded?
I think they're a bit more grounded based on like what we saw of like the Star Fox remake.
Okay.
I think it's the same base game with maybe some bells and whistles. Maybe like, I don't know, they bring in a photo mode, or they I don't know. I think it'd be interesting if they added a randomizer, but I don't think that's a thing that they're gonna add.
Right.
I don't know what else they could put in there.
Right. Matt, while I have you just a few minutes, I'm gonna run through this list of games that might appear in not E3 and not quick hits. Tell me if you're feeling or not. Let's go for Nintendo, since we're Nintendo-year-olds. And do you believe we're gonna see it this month? Matt, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave.
Oh yeah, I think we'll see something about that.
Ocarina of Time remake.
Jaren, I'm hoping for you.
Thank you, friend. Matt. Duskbloods.
Oh, did Duskbloods ever get a release date?
Nope.
Oh man, Jaren, I'm not hopeful in seeing Duskbloods, to be honest.
Oh man, we said it at the start of the show, Matt. Persona 4 Revival.
I think that it'll show up here. If it's gonna show up, if it's coming out this year, actually, I think it'll show up here.
Okay. Or the Xbox one from before. I'm just taking a grab bag right now. Actually, Matt, do we see the infamous, considering the Sony state of play, do we see the infamous Fair Games / Break-In?
What is that? What? I don't even know what that is.
That was, I believe wasn't Fair Games. This has been like, I think, in development for a while now. I've been hearing things, but I don't think anything has been coming out. I think Jade Raymond might have been attached to it for like a minute, and I'm not sure anymore. So, yeah, okay. That, and I guess finally, apparently there's going to be an Among Us announcement during the Summer Games Fest proper.
Oh man.
Matt, do we see Crazy Taxi?
Oh.
We saw the teasers.
Right.
I guess we'll end off here. Matt, what do you want to, in 2026, what do you want to see Crazy Taxi become?
I don't know. I don't know what Crazy Taxi can become, because like, Jaren, I don't know. I would not be surprised if Crazy Taxi somehow evolves to not only be a taxi and you're like driving things in space or something. I wouldn't be surprised if that's where that game ends up going.
Okay. Matt, say Crazy Taxi gets released. Final question to you.
Okay.
Offspring song, yes or no?
Oh, I don't know. Jaren, Jaren, all that stuff gets like tied up in rights, and I don't know
right.
how that side of the world works, because I'm a baby boy and I don't pay attention to the law.
That's true. That's true. And Matt, I keep saying final thing, but real final thing. Part of the South Korean ratings board, alongside the Persona 6 league, or maybe Persona 4 Revival league. Matt, what did you think of the supposed Lego Skylines? That
is interesting, because I have no idea how that's going to work. But if it is just like a Lego version of City Skylines, is that the Skylines that it was mentioning? Because I only saw the name and I kind of just assumed it was that.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what everyone's associating with as City Skylines.
Yeah, I think that could look really, really interesting. I'm more so interested in the look and seeing if they're going to change any mechanics. Because, I don't know, if it's just like a Lego skate on top of City Skylines, I think I would still be kind of happy with that, but I'd be less hyped about it.
Okay. Matt, I guess we'll see next week for at least one, if not the only Summer Games Fest episode of Mistake Zone. Steam Next Fest around the corner. What else? Densha Attack probably coming out soon. So we'll see some content coming up, Matt. Some content and I guess summer season anime.
Oh, right. Yes.
That's I don't know when. I don't know time. Matt, I read over 150 chapters of the Fragrant Flower Blooms of Dignity, so that's always in the back pocket.
Done or
no? When needed. Not done. Done.
Okay.
But Matt, that is a manga that is paced really well, in my opinion.
Oh, that's it.
But Matt, this has been a Beefy Boy episode. I'm gonna go back to TikTok to watch more Ichika propaganda because Matt, I had to train the algo to do that.
Of course.
But Matt, please. Oh no, gotta thank you as always for joining me this week, editing this podcast, and Matt being part of the Gacha Gang. Hopefully, not that ZZZ episode's around the corner too.
Yeah, Sunday, Jaren. Yeah, Sunday, Jaren. Jaren, of course, I want to thank you as always for hosting the episode and giving us the scenic route around Forza Horizon 6.
Thanks, man. Matt. I want to thank Mina. I want to thank Matt. Do I want to think scaling couches? I don't know. I'm not sold on that.
I want to think.
We'll see. We'll see how it develops during early access.
Got to think the butt sliders though. Got to think butt sliders.
Oh yeah, of course. Not sure about the posture sliders though. Matt, I'm gonna go stare at my posture for a while.
Oh no, Jared, don't do it. You're just gonna become sad.
Oh man, but Matt. Please take it away.
This has been the Mistake Zone, and we are not out of AI rubber banding on us.
Oh man.